Cheney.
First up, we got last month's minutes.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes. Second.
All in favor? Everybody.
Okay. Alright. I guess we're to the visitors.
Yeah,
now.
so we got a couple different things tonight on visitors. First, we got Lloyd Claunch and Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett. So Mr. Claunch, Mr. Bartlett. We just wanted to get an update. We hadn't touched base in a few months, and Joe's not here, but he had asked about you specifically a few times and where you guys might be. So the thought was just to get you here and just catch us up if there's anything to catch up on.
Sure. Come up with nothing. Introduce as to who you are. Okay.
Lance is a new PE in our office, because I am not a PE and I can't stamp and sign things. I can do all the work, but he has to approve it all. And he will probably be finishing up this project that's sometime this year. So I want everybody to get to know him, and you'll see him around more often.
Okay.
And to start with our assessment, we came up, I came up a couple weeks ago, and I brought a salesman from a vendor or supplier for wastewater equipment, and also brought up a contractor that has worked on similar systems as yours, as your clarifier. And we had them evaluate it because we, looking at all avenues, thought maybe we could repair the existing unit cheaper than we can put in a new unit. And they both had the same conclusion that it can be repaired, it can be made workable, but they both agreed that within 4, 5, 6 years, you would probably regret it. That something would go wrong and it wouldn't be serviceable. So,
Joe's concerned.
yeah. So we're just now starting to look at other clarifiers, other options to put on the site, and then just abandon the existing clarifier. And the rest of the project's the same as it was. One thing that we are concerned about is the cost. We bid a project, I think 3 weeks ago, and we had $8 million, and it came in over 11 million. And of course, that project's going to get canceled. But we've talked to the other engineers, other funding agencies, and they're all seeing the same thing. All the projects are coming in way over budget, and I think everybody knows why.
Yeah.
So right now, the city has a loan and grant for about $1,342,000, and our estimate as of April of last year, and this is in this paper I sent to you, is about $1,295,000. There's a little bit of contingency in there, $105,000, but until we actually complete the design, get it approved, and bid the project, we do not know what it's going to cost. I would almost without a doubt say it's going to be more than the money that you currently have. Now, can you get more money? You can obviously get more loan. Can you get the same ratio loan to grant? I don't know. That'll be up to the funding agencies. But they all tell us, well, you got to bid the job. We can't do anything till you bid the job, which means the city will, without a doubt, have to incur the design expenses, engineering expenses, if they decide not to do it. And that's going to be somewhere around $85,000, $90,000. We feel like there's going to be money available, but I can't sit here and tell you there will be. Other thing the city needs to consider is raising rates, or continue to raise your rates on an annual basis to be prepared for something like this. I don't know if that's in the cards or not.
It was just done.
We just
last
raised them
year,
a lot,
well,
almost doubled them, and oh, people were not happy.
yeah, it's about a year ago, September.
About a year ago.
Yeah, well, I guess it went into effect in January though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a year now.
We've been recommending to all of our clients that you need to raise rates 3% a year, every year, water and sewer. And the inflation rate is way more than that. Wages have to go up, insurance going up, fuel's going up, and you just got to cover those costs. Plus, if you need some additional money, they're going to make you raise the rates.
Right.
So if you have a program in place, maybe that would help. Again, until we get to that point, we don't know. I was going to let Lance talk a little bit about what our design thoughts are on the process.
Okay. We've taken a pretty good look at the design flow rate based on the current loading, and ironically, I say ironically, the original design levels in the 70s, I think it was 76, around 76, sound about right. They meet the same loading would meet today's levels. So it's 0.15 MGD plant.
Thanks.
Yeah, and so it looks like that same system will give you additional growth above and beyond what your current biological loading is, which probably doesn't reflect the flow through the plant with the I&I. But that's it's expensive to treat I&I, rainwater. But I think if anything, I would urge you to seriously consider starting to look at some ways to bring down the inflow and infiltration.
There was a smoke test that was done here recently that details where most of the problems were. Not all of them, but most of them. So the city has that information, and if not, I have it. I can give it back to you.
Okay.
Sure they have it.
I think Terry's got a copy.
Okay.
So on the new clarifier separator, footprint wise, as things change, it's still gonna be, but we're limited in space down there, what we've got.
You got plenty of room.
Okay.
Yeah, you got plenty of room. It's a good sized property.
Okay, good.
Now, is the new clarifier gonna be as big as that one?
Size-wise, I don't. It's going to be relatively
Relatively
close.
close.
Yeah.
Relatively. It'll have to. If you think about it, we got a pump. It's pumping, through the system a certain height now, so it's going to be real similar.
Okay.
It'll change a little bit, but similar.
Biggest things, materials, I assume, on the price, estimates and stuff. I work our valves and everything else have just gone skyrocketed the last 2 years, and
Yes.
pipe and everything.
It's all of it. But a lot of it also has to do with the fact that there's so much going on right now that probably not enough contractors to go.
Yeah.
We're having a hard time getting people to bid projects. We've had 2 projects now. One was that big one I told you about. We had 3 bidders on. No, we had 4 bidders on 3 different contracts. And then the other job we bid, we had 3 bidders on 2 contracts.
We've had the same thing at school on
Same.
projects, and you'll stay after them, and then they'll just throw you some stupid, ridiculous bid because they don't want it.
They'll never tell you no, right?
They'll never tell you
They'll
no,
never
but
tell you no. They'll let you
Yeah,
make that
right.
decision
Yeah,
for
right.
yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so, that's something else we have to deal with. I don't know if the council is aware, but, the state gave out $270 million to water and wastewater utilities throughout the state. Well, and there's deadlines on using that money. Magazine didn't get any. A lot of people didn't get any. But that money has to be ready to spend by the end of March. And there's not enough people out there in contracting business to do the work. It's a real mess. in the funding agency, particularly the natural resources. And that's who we're mostly working with.
You heard any rumblings the state's gonna reconsider those dates or anything?
We think they're gonna have to, but
They did on some of ours with the schools.
I mean,
and
otherwise
stuff,
they gotta
pushed
give
them
the
out
money
some,
back.
Because, yeah,
They pushed
exactly.
these out already once.
yeah, they've already extended from December 30th to March 30th.
But they're
And
still just not
if they give the money back, it goes back to the governor.
Mhm.
And the governor can do as she pleases with it. So,
It amazes me that little places like us, we can't ever get any of that, and the big places,
What they do, we found out with the school, they consider what place gets the most bang for the buck as far as number of people served.
No, that's
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
And that's where they give it to them.
yeah.
So the bigger schools get the money, the bigger cities get the money,
Well,
because it impacts more people.
And they're always looking for consolidation. I mean, I don't know if the council knows, but we investigated for the city to pump their waste to Boonville. And I talked to the Boonville talked to the manager at the time, he's no longer there, but he said, yeah, they would love to have y'all send your sewage to them, but they're under orders because they can't treat their
You
own
can't treat
sewage.
what they've got.
They have problems with I&I, they have problems with their plant, and they can't take it.
Yeah. Get all these grand ideas at the government, and then they
Right.
forget about the little places like this that.
That is true.
Anybody have any questions for him?
Any questions?
I don't think I do.
We will be making quite a bit of progress, this month. Like I told you about these ARPA projects with the deadlines, I mean, that's killing us, that's taking all of our time, and we've gotten rid of both those projects this week. So, this is the next one that's on our plate to finish. I mean, we've already started, we got preliminary
We're a long
drawings,
ways
and,
down the line, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we're a long ways down the line.
it won't take long to put it together, so. You know, as far as timeline, I know Jamie asked, we'd like to think we can bid sometime middle of this year, when summer's here, which is a good time for building things, so.
Mhm.
That's,
I don't know that getting a little bit away from this March 30th date, I mean, I can't.
it doesn't affect us for this project.
No, I realize
No.
that, but I'm
Right.
just saying, I think the further we get beyond the March 30th date, maybe the more favorable results we'll start to see. I could be wrong about that, I'm just,
That's
it's
true.
me thinking, I don't.
Right.
Makes sense. All right, we appreciate you guys coming down.
Okay, yeah,
Thank
well,
you,
we're
guys.
glad to have you.
Appreciate it.
thank you, nice to see you
Nice,
again,
you too, Vicky.
nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right,
Thanks for coming back. Thanks, guys.
so we're switching gears to Tanya. You're up. You're up.
Give me a second. Cold weather has my bones creaking. So, I know most of you are aware, this year I'm in the Logan County Leadership Group.
I did print out a copy of that,
For
that you,
everybody?
uh-huh,
Okay, well, so we had lots of discussion on what we could do to help both sides of the county. We don't, and a lot of times they just focus on Paris, and Hannah and I were like, no, we need to find something that's gonna benefit both sides. So we landed on, after discussion with Rick and his needs, the Boys and Girls Club here in Magazine, they just recently moved out of the school and into the church, but they're needing a game room set up, and I know Rick is still looking for ways to get benches out at the soccer field. So, Paris's Boys and Girls Club, their game room, the pool table's falling apart, the foosball's just all busted up. So we figured this year we'll just work on the game rooms for both clubs. Our hope is to raise $10,000, which will be equally split. But we're looking for in-kind donations or sponsorships. Reed's, we've got a big banquet coming up April 20th. Steve is donating 100 plates of brisket, but we still need the Boys and Girls Club in Paris will seat 200 people. So we're still looking for another sponsor to cover the other 100 plates of brisket, possibly maybe some chicken. But I didn't know if maybe the city might be interested in maybe, purchasing a pool table or a foosball table or making a donation towards one of those goals. But I wanted to at least put the bug in your guys' ear and let you talk about it.
You're looking for 10,000 both sides or each side?
No, 10,000 total or in kind. If we have somebody come and say, hey, we have this pool table, we're not using it anymore, that'll lessen how much we need to raise. And our thoughts were, at the end of the day, if we have money left over and we've done all of these, we'll just create, we'll cut 2 checks to each club for Rick and Kathy to use where they need to use it the most. But I know, they're always struggling for money, and they do such a good service for our kids and our communities. I know Rick's impact with my kids was phenomenal. Just having that extra male mentorship, quality male mentorship, it made all the difference. So, this is a way that we feel would be great to give back to the community. I know we're gonna be doing a Super Bowl game board for both sides. Blake just did one for the college side up at Paris, and I was hoping to get it done here, but we were in Phoenix, so I wasn't able to hands on it. But we're looking for any and every, we're gonna be dusting under every rug we can find to make this come
Still have
across.
time for the Super Bowl.
We still have time for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
I
get
think
that
Blake's
done.
was for the national championship
Yeah.
game tonight.
Yeah.
So you'd still have a few weeks, maybe about a month or something. I think
Yeah.
playoffs start next week. So
Yeah, so we'll do that. But I'm hitting up all of the people that I know that could, maybe move a few balls down the road. So I didn't know what kind of a surplus you have in your budget, but
You just heard how much they were talking
Yeah.
about.
Why you smell?
yeah, I know everything's got to go to this sewer. But
Do we have we already? I'm assuming we've already secured this game room area with the church. They're
Yes.
okay with putting some stuff in
Yeah.
over there.
yes, Rick's already laid all of that groundwork, and the kids are already meeting there.
Yeah,
There just isn't anything for them to do.
yeah. They're fortunate they have the basketball gym
Right.
there because they were stuck in the cafeteria down at
Yeah.
the school.
No, this is a much better place, and the Rick sent me a letter. I can forward it to you if you want to, but it's basically the same thing. I just asked him what he needed, what we could do that would impact him the best or the most, and he said the Game Room Here magazine is what's needed the most.
Okay.
And I don't know what kind of delinquency you're seeing, but anything we can do to keep these kids occupied is a good thing.
Yeah. We're definitely happy to have our chapter, so to speak, of the club here. So
Yeah.
it's a big help.
But I'll let you guys hash it out, discuss it.
Alrighty, thanks, Tanya. Anybody have any questions for Tanya on that?
We will mull it over and consider.
Thanks, Tanya. All right, we are down to the financial reports.
Financial reports, Okay, Karen's is in there, I can't answer any questions on it because it's not mine, so.